Welcome to Travel with Sean. I'm Sean. I just got back from a 3-week vacation in China. The last time I was in China was in 2007, 1 year before the Beijing Olympics. The 2008 Beijing Olympics initiated a dramatic change in China. Let me give you some examples. Back in 2007, when you wanted to catch a cab, a taxi, you would stand on the side of the street and wave them down. And if they were available, they might stop and pick you up. But if they recognize that you're a foreigner, they probably would take a longer route to get to your destination. That way they can charge you more. But nowadays, that doesn't happen. Because nowadays, taking the Chinese version of Uber, they call it Didi. Taking Didi nowadays is more convenient and more popular than taking a taxi. I don't know, but maybe it's even cheaper than a taxi. At any rate, you order a Didi using an app, and it will tell you the name of the driver, it'll tell you the make, model of the car, the color of the car, and the license plate of the car that's going to pick you up. It'll even give you an ETA, when you can expect the driver to pick you up. And when you're in the taxi, when you're in the Didi, going to your destination, that app on your phone will even show you the route that the driver should take. And it'll show you the route that the driver is taking. So you can make sure the driver is not cheating you. When you pay the taxi, it's already calculated and it's on the app, just like Uber. So it's simpler and it protects you from being cheated. Back in 2007, most everyone used cash for purchases. Sometimes it was difficult finding anywhere that would accept a credit card. Nowadays, China has a cashless economy. And when you want to pay for something, you use an app. There are actually few places that will accept credit cards because people link their credit card to the app, or they link their bank account to the app. With this app, you don't have to worry about counterfeit money. That was still a problem back in 2007. You had to worry about pickpockets. You had to worry about counterfeit money. When you're a tourist, a foreign tourist in China, you don't know what to look for in counterfeit money. So it's easy to get scammed. Nowadays, that's not a problem because of the digital currency, because of the cashless economy using the app. Speaking of cash and counterfeit money, back in 2007, we were at the Summer Palace. I took my family on vacation with me, and we were at the Summer Palace looking around, and we noticed some people along the walkway selling Beijing Olympic merchandise. And we saw that they were selling 4 Beijing Olympic t-shirts for only 100 yuan. Nowadays, at the current exchange rate, that's equivalent to about $14. Thought that's a good deal for 4 t-shirts. So I handed them a 100 yuan bill. And the guy looked it over carefully, handed it back, and pointed to a corner and said that it was torn. Said he cannot accept it because of the torn corner. I thought I had given him a bill that was in relatively new condition, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt anyway, handed him another 100 yuan bill. First, I looked it over myself to make sure it wasn't torn, ripped, missing edges, whatever. I was sure this was in good condition. I handed it to him. We got our 4 t-shirts. We were happy. We went on our way. Walking down the pathway, it was lunchtime anyway, and we saw a restaurant that we thought we would stop in to grab a bite to eat. After the meal, I got the bill and I handed the waitress 100 yuan bill, the same one I got back from that man, because it had a torn corner. And I figured there might be a challenge finding merchants to accept a bill with a torn corner. After all, the street vendor wouldn't accept it, so let's try to use it as soon as possible. I prepared for the possibility that the waitress could not take it because of the torn corner. But instead, she asked me if we made any purchases along the walkway before coming to the restaurant. Yes, I told her that we did buy 4 t-shirts from a vendor just down the way a little bit. She said that we got scammed and that was a problem happening, and that he gave us a counterfeit bill. I didn't know how that was possible. I didn't see him change bills. I didn't see him put the money away. She said they're very good at it, and it's hard to tell, it's hard to detect. But because it's such a problem, she, as being staff at the restaurant, is trained in looking for counterfeit money. Back then, almost everybody had to be alert for counterfeit money, and they had to know how to recognize it or they could get cheated. But as I said earlier, nowadays China has a cashless economy. It's very difficult for these bad guys to try to cheat you, to scam you. I'm sure there's a way, I don't know how, but that's one of the benefits now of their cashless economy and using the app. That is a major change from 2007. Back in 2007, there used to be a lot of homeless people and beggars on the sidewalk. 2007 was not our first time going to China. We had gone some years before then, and my daughter was about 5 or 6 years old back then. We encountered some beggars out on the sidewalk. You know, they usually looked pretty dirty and unkempt. Some would be missing limbs, some have little children with them. You don't know what their story was or if they were legitimate. But the point is, they were begging for money. They wanted money. And whenever my children asked me for money back home, I would usually end up telling them I needed to go to the bank to get some money to give them. So when my daughter, who was about 5 or 6, saw this beggar, she asked me so innocently, "Don't they have any banks in China? Why doesn't China have banks?" She innocently thought that was the only place, the only way you get money is by going to the bank. So cute. But now you hardly see any homeless on the streets. You don't see any beggars anywhere. And people don't usually carry cash with them even, because everything is digital using their smartphone. In restaurants, it's common to see women put their purse on the back of their seat. Many years ago, that was a problem. After the meal, women would find their purses gone or find their wallets missing out of their purse. Well, 18 years ago, when women would sit down and put their purse on the back of their seat, the waiter or waitress would right away come over and put a bag over the back of the seat, protecting the purse. Nowadays, you see women using their purse to reserve their seat while they run to the restroom or go up to the buffet. They will leave their purse unattended at the table. Some people leave their satchel or they leave their cell phone on the table because nobody touches it. It's safe now. With security cameras everywhere, anyone attempting to commit a crime in China is going to get caught. It won't take long. Either security guard will see them, or police, or they'll be caught on surveillance camera. And with facial recognition, all travelers in China have their identity, their photo identity in the legal system. All citizens, residents of China also are in the system. So it's easy to catch them. But what happens in addition to having a fine and or jail time, this being labeled a criminal or a convict is going to affect their housing. It's going to affect employment. And it's going to affect the family. If they are married, the spouse will also have trouble with employment. The children will have trouble with school. Where they go to school will be affected by the parent's criminal record. Their employment after that will also be impacted. Who they date, who their potential spouse is, will also be impacted. Their friends will go away from them. Why? Because these other people don't want to be associated with a criminal, not even indirectly. So there's a huge stigma on the person, on the family, and close associates of convicts. Better law enforcement, more severe penalties for criminals, and the social stigma associated with convicts has made China a much safer place to travel. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps. See you next time. Bye-bye.